Hi, welcome again to the Inside Track. I'm Brian Byrne. Most of the time you see me in a big car, but this time something small. Something pretty, something certainly not a man's car. It's the Fiat 500, and this one is special because it's the Twin Air. Sometimes if you try to resurrect an old car, a retro car, it doesn't work. But actually for Fiat this time it did. And it's been very successful. It's a cute looking thing. It's got all the cues from the original Fiat 500, but it's got a modern, sleek and curvy style. They kept the interior retro too, but with some modern touches. Looking back though, that ivory finish on the centre stack, that's pure 50s Bakelite, although it's modern materials. And the painted blue dashboard, that's meant to represent the old painted metal fascia they used to have, but of course it's plastic, a lot more expensive than perhaps the original piece of metal was. And of course, the original car didn't need to have these lovely luxury mats with the funky looking Fiat 500 image on them. When you open the boot, you get quite a surprise. It will actually hold a lot more than you think. In fact, I've seen bigger cars with much less space. But of course, in the original car, you couldn't have put anything there at all because that's where the engine was. A fairly squashed engine bay. There's a lot of stuff in here. The reason this car is a little bit special is because it's got Fiat's new Twin Air engine. Now it's a tiny little thing. It's only 850 cc's. It's got a turbocharger though, and it's able to output a solid 85 horsepower. Better than that, it's also got a really punchy torque. So this little baby here, it can run. A two-cylinder engine is no stranger to the 500 nameplate because the original one back 60 years ago also had a two-cylinder engine. They're lighter, they're cheaper to make, they have a funny sound, but you can get used to it. The Twin Air engine uses a turbocharger. It's more economical than the 1.2 litre engine that is the standard engine in the Fiat 500, even though it's 2/3 the size. And it'll do the 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in a very, very respectable 11 seconds. At the same time, it gives you the equivalent of 79 miles to the gallon. Now, you can't sneeze at that. It's an easy car to drive. Now, the handling, it's pretty okay. It bounces around a little bit, and it sticks to the ground pretty well, though, if you want to take it around a tight turn. And because it's such a small car and you're so much on top of everything, you do feel part of the car when you're driving it. It's a nice feeling. When they brought out the new Fiat 500, they made funkiness a virtue. And it is, there's no question about it, it's a car that makes you smile on the inside. Look at that little dashboard. It's odd looking, it's got this white surround. It's very practical though, it's got a very clear, simple circular speedometer, and the little rev counter is set inside that. So everything is in the one line of sight. Clever. They've done a good job on the controls. The heating and ventilating here, it's clear, it's very simple. It's big lettering, you can see what it's at. In this case, it's a climate control. You have your temperature setting there, and you have your fan speed here. It's all simple. It's all very easy to hand. And all in all, I suppose because it's a small car, they have to have everything close to hand. It's an easy car to find your way around. The original Fiat 500 had a canvas roof, which opened to the elements when you rolled it back, And that's fine in Italy where it doesn't rain that often and you do want the sunshine to come in. Here we have still a rollaway roof, but there's glass above it. So there we have it, the Fiat 500 Twin Air. You can get into a Fiat 500 for around 12,500, 13,000 euros. This one is a bit more expensive at 16,295 or thereabouts. And you have to weigh up whether the extra savings of 15% that you'll get on your fuel consumption would actually pay for that. For me, I think that little poke from the engine, the jizziness and the fun that is there, it's worth the extra few bob if I was buying the car. I did say at the beginning that it's not really a car for me, but you know, I could live with it, provided you don't give me the Volare blue one. See you next week.